Okay, Girl Scout cookie season is kind of over, but I've been saving these because I want to try to recreate them because they're now my two favorite cookies.
Funny enough, I call them my favorites, but I never actually named them. I am making adventurefuls, which I think got discontinued, and also Thin Mints. I'm going to start off with a few observations.
I think the recipes between the two cookies are very similar, which is why I think I can get away with the same dough. Because if I break this, you can kind of see it's the same like flaky dough. So to recreate them, I think, here's my theory, we're gonna test it out, but I think they use the same cookie dough minus the peppermint. And I think that the inside of these, hold on, let me show you what they are first. So I think the inside like caramel part, the way that it like crumbles, I think the caramel part is just white chocolate mixed with normal chocolate because it doesn't have any distinguishing flavor to it. This is the cookie batter before they add the peppermint for the Thin Mints, and then they coat the bottom in chocolate, and then they do the little lines, but then they also fill it in with like a very thin layer of that caramelly looking chocolate. For these guys, it's the same like flaky dough, although this one I'm guessing got discolored from the peppermint. I'm hoping, because I don't know what else it could be. This recipe is basically my excuse to eat as many of these cookies as I want. And I think both the chocolate and the cookie are pepperminty, so I'm going to have to flavor both. But I'm going to start by making this one right here. What is this one even called? Adventurefuls? I'm going to start by making the adventurefuls. That way I can then use the same dough batter in the peppermint one and then flavor it with peppermint and make those. I'm going to start off by saying the chocolate coatings, not going to happen exactly the same. I'll try my best, but I really don't think I can accomplish it this well. I was really focused on the Thin Mints because I want to make a huge batch of them so I can eat them year long around. Let's get started by making the dough. For the dough, it is 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Don't make a mess. Don't make a mess. 1, 2, half a cup of cocoa flour. Cocoa powder. So the recipe I found doesn't use sugar, which I think is very wrong. Like I do think there should be some sugar in here. So I'm just gonna do like 2 tablespoons worth, but don't want it to be overly sweet, but I also don't want it to be disgusting. Half a teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna mix that around. I'm going to beat the butter and sugar together. There's no sugar in the recipe, but it's saying beat butter and sugar together. And the ingredients, I guess that's a bug. I'll just add a little bit of sugar. This is the most fun thing to do with butter when you have to use copious amounts of it. My usual method is to do it by hand. So early in the day to be doing a hand workout. Beat until creamy. The recipe says egg whites only, which I'm like really annoyed with because I hate recipes that only use half of the egg for the sake of science. And like, now what am I supposed to do with this yolk? Vanilla. It says it's normal if it looks curdled, and she definitely looks curdled. Now I'm gonna start to add in the dry ingredients a little bit at a time. Oops, I didn't mix that well. We're just gonna... Okay, I'm gonna mix this and then I'll be back once it's done. So now that the dough is combined, recipe for the Thin Mints obviously says to roll it out, then cut the cookies, but I want to make the, what are they called again? Adventurefuls first. So I've got some of the dough. Let me bring my example back. Roll it into a ball, press it down, and then do like the, what are they called? Thumbprint cookies? I've never made them until now. I don't think they put the chocolate in while it bakes because I think it will burn. So I'm gonna just press it down and make the little crevice, and then I think these can just go into the freezer and bake like this. I'm only gonna do a few of these because everyone in my family loves Thin Mints a lot more, and so I want the rest of the dough for Thin Mints. That looks good to me. Just freeze them while I roll out the rest of the dough. It says to freeze for an hour, which I've never seen for a cookie, but we'll see. For the rest of these, I do need to add in my peppermint oil, which I know I should have done with the liquids, but it's fine. So I have peppermint oil, not extract, which is a lot more concentrated. So I'm only going to do a few drops, even though the recipes say to do like a teaspoon, I think, of peppermint extract. I don't think that would be a good idea here. Ooh, it's so fragrant. I love it. Okay, I'm going to taste test the dough to see if it needs more peppermint. I think maybe when it bakes, it'll taste better. Because right now it just tastes like dough and it's spicy. So now that I've prepared the Thin Mint dough, I'm going to roll it out to 1/4 of an inch, and then I'm going to freeze it and then cut the cookies, or at least that's what the recipe says. My mouth is like really pepperminty now. Let's see. Let's do this. I still haven't gotten a rolling pin, and I don't think I ever will. I think this is working out pretty well. So this is what I'm going to be using to cut it. It is not a cookie cutter. It is the candle holder from an IKEA candle, but I'm going to use it to cut the cookies. I'm just going to see what happens if I pre-cut them before and then freeze them. Make sure that they're frozen when you bake. So I think this would just save me time, so I don't have to like re-roll, refreeze. Also, I'm well aware that this is way too big of a Thin Mint, but I don't have anything else. Usually you would cut it with a 2-inch cookie cutter. Now that I've cut everything, I feel like in theory I can just peel this away and cookie cut the rest. That way I don't have to like wait 6 hours between each batch. We'll see. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take these, put them in the freezer, wait until they are firm. Once they're firm, I'm going to put them on a pan. I'll probably put an inch in between each cookie, and then I'm gonna bake them at 350 for 15 minutes, and then I'll be back for the chocolatiering. The cookies are baking, so while they bake, I wanna prep the chocolate. For the chocolate, got white chocolate, some salted caramel, and then just some semi-sweet. The semi-sweet will be to coat all of the cookies with their chocolate coating, and then I'm going to make a concoction for the inside of the adventurefuls. I'm going to use some semi-sweet, some salted, and some white. I know I said it didn't really have a salted caramel taste, but I think this will actually give it one. And you know what? We're going to upgrade the flavor a little bit. That might be a little too much. I think like that. I'm gonna microwave this, and then also for the semi-sweet, I think I'm just gonna do a bar at a time maybe, and then see how much I end up needing. To coat the cookies, I've got chocolate. I might break them up a little bit more. I've got the chocolate, and then I'm just gonna do a splash of oil to just thin them out. And then after it melts, I will add the peppermint oil in, but I'm gonna go ahead and melt both of these. So we've got a problem here. And the problem is that I taste tested the cookie off camera. I don't know how to explain this. It just doesn't taste right. And I'm hoping the chocolate will bring it together. I'm gonna start though with the adventurefuls, dipping them into here. So let's try that. Oh, they're hot. Now that I've done their bottoms, I've also got that like white chocolate, salted caramel mix. Just gonna plop it in here. It clearly, oops, this is a mess. I'm gonna put those in the freezer. So remember how I said there was no sugar in the recipe? There's no sugar in the cookie. It's slightly sweet and slightly pepperminty, neither of which works for the cookie. So I'm going to try to offset it with the chocolate. So I've got my peppermint oil. Yeah, we'll just put that much peppermint oil in. That's strong. Ugh, I don't know. Let me try. Where'd that half cookie go? Let me try it now. Oh, it's buffy. Okay, it's got the minty now. Yeah, the mintiness is there, but the sugar. Also, I don't like how these look. I really thought it would melt with the cookie's heat. Seeing as the white chocolate really didn't impact the chocolate's color, I might add some white chocolate into this. I should have trusted my gut and added more sugar, but I'm gonna just go ahead and microwave this. I'm just gonna, come on, this is gonna take forever. I need a cooling rack. I really do. Also that, whatever. Got one tray down. I'm gonna put it in the freezer and I'll just do the rest off camera. Okay, now for the best part. It's time to taste test and do some comparisons. I'm gonna start off with these. Oh, well, that's interesting. In comparison, you know, the colors are off. Let's see if the taste is as well. I'm gonna start off with the original chocolate cookie with some chocolate. Now for this one, I'm gonna, flavor-wise, the cookie here is sweeter. We established that the recipe didn't involve sugar, and it should have. But the chocolate here and that chocolate filling on top tastes so much better because it has the salted carameliness. The other thing that I noticed is that cookie is a lot more crunchy than this one, which makes me a little worried for the Thin Mints because the crunch is like a huge factor as to why I like it. But let's taste test the Thin Mints original versus this one. Clearly, there's clearly a difference. I'm trying to see which one I can. The chocolate pool means that I put too much vegetable oil. The color difference is very apparent, and the size, obviously. Let me taste test the original. Let me taste test the homemade. Wait, hold on. It's actually like spot on. I'm confused. Hold on, let me try it. That's actually so good. The white chocolate like pulled it through. Okay. It's definitely a lot more spicy or minty. It definitely cleans the sinuses a little bit. But the other thing I noticed is this one is a lot more crunchy than this one. And I feel like maybe I just needed to bake it a little bit more or maybe made it a little more thin. Obviously, from the chocolate fingerprints, I clearly put too much vegetable oil, so I'm going to lessen it for the rest of the batches. But honestly, the Thin Mint one is really, really good. I do think that this one is a lot better than that one had I added sugar. The only thing is if you like a sweet cookie, you're probably not going to like these attempts because they're not that sweet, but I don't really like very overly sweet things, so this worked out for me. But with that, I am off to snack on the rest of these.